There comes a moment in every chosen one's life where the darkness begins to loosen its grip, the storms begin to settle, and everything that once worked against you suddenly becomes the very force pushing you forward. For years, you may have felt unseen, misunderstood, isolated, and tested beyond measure. But chosen ones aren't shaped in comfort, they are refined in fire. And when the universe has prepared you long enough, there arrives a season where everything clicks. A divine season where your light is no longer hidden, your purpose is no longer delayed, and your destiny is no longer blocked. You are stepping into that season now. This message is not an accident. The timing is not random. If you are hearing these words, it is because you are transitioning into one of the most powerful phases of your life, your season to shine. The old you has served its purpose. The healed you, the elevated you, the aligned you, that version is emerging. And from this point on, nothing and no one can stop what God, what the universe, what the divine has already written for your life. Here are 9 signs you are finally entering your season to shine. 1. You feel a sudden inner peace after years of wrestling with yourself. Chosen ones don't find peace through external situations. They find it through internal alignment. If you've been battling overthinking, doubt, and emotional storms for years, but suddenly you feel calm, grounded, and centered, this is your spiritual confirmation. Peace is the first sign of elevation. Before the blessing appears in the physical world, it settles in your spirit. It is the universe saying, prepare, what's coming is yours. This sudden inner peace isn't random. It is the result of your soul finally catching up to the level of growth you've been pushed toward through all your trials. For years you may have felt like your mind was in a war against itself, constantly trying to figure out your next move, constantly overanalyzing every mistake, constantly replaying the past and fearing the future. But when peace comes, it silences all of that internal noise. This peace comes from clarity. The clarity that your path is unfolding exactly the way it should, that nothing was ever wasted, and that every challenge was shaping you into the person capable of receiving what is coming next. You begin to feel less urgency to control outcomes, less pressure to prove anything, and less fear of the unknown. Instead, you begin trusting yourself, trusting your spirit, and trusting the timing of the universe. You realize that battles you once fought with anxiety no longer grip you. It becomes easier to breathe, easier to rest, easier to believe, and that alone is the breakthrough. Peace is the confirmation that your elevation has already begun internally, and soon your external world will align with this calmness. When peace enters first, blessings follow right behind it. Because nothing can flow into a mind filled with chaos, but everything can manifest through a spirit anchored in divine stillness. 2. People who once doubted you are now silent or watching you closely. When a chosen one is about to rise, the energy shifts around them. People who dismissed you suddenly grow quiet. People who envied you suddenly get uncomfortable. People who underestimated you start observing you from a distance. Your glow is expanding, your energy is shifting, your presence is becoming undeniable. Even without trying, you are making people notice what they refused to see before. This shift is not because you changed who you are, but because you finally aligned with who you were always meant to become. Those who doubted you can feel this shift even before you physically elevate. They can feel the spiritual weight you now carry. They can sense the confidence rising in you, the clarity forming around you, and the divine favor walking with you. Some people who once ignored your potential will now watch every move you make because they know, deep down, that something about you is different. They may not speak it aloud, but they see the glow, the transformation, the strength, and the grace that surrounds you. Their silence is not accidental. It is respect mixed with fear, recognition mixed with disbelief. They know the season has changed. They know your spirit is no longer where it used to be. This is why certain people pull away, grow distant, or suddenly become quiet. Not because they don't care, but because your elevation triggers their insecurities. Your growth exposes their stagnation. Your light reveals their shadows. But remember, their silence is your confirmation. When the people who once doubted you start watching you closely, it means your breakthrough is already echoing in the spiritual realm. You are rising, and they can feel it before you even see it. 3. Opportunities are showing up without you forcing anything. In your waiting season, everything felt like a struggle. Doors closed, delays happened, nothing flowed. But when you're in your season to shine, you don't chase, you attract. Opportunities, connections, resources, breakthroughs, they begin appearing naturally. This is a sign that the frequency you are vibrating at has elevated. What once ran from you is now drawn toward you. This effortless flow is the result of all the internal work you've been doing, even during the times when it didn't look like anything was changing. Chosen ones often endure long periods of delay because their spirit is being prepared for the level they are meant to walk into. When that preparation is complete, life begins to meet you with open doors instead of brick walls. Suddenly you meet the right person at the right time. Someone recommends you unexpectedly. A new path opens without you forcing it. Resources appear just when you need them. Ideas align perfectly. Connections feel natural instead of forced. This is the universe syncing with your elevation. It is spiritual momentum turning into physical manifestation. And because you are aligned, opportunities now recognize you. They gravitate toward the energy you carry. You no longer feel the need to chase validation, beg for support, or struggle for breakthroughs. Instead, life begins responding to you differently, because you have entered a new vibrational frequency, one where abundance flows, clarity leads, and blessings meet you halfway. When you no longer push and everything begins to unfold with ease, that is divine confirmation. Your season has arrived. 4. You have outgrown places, habits, and people you once thought you needed. Chosen ones experience a deep shedding before elevation. If you suddenly find yourself uninterested in drama, meaningless conversations, low vibrational behaviors, or people who drain your energy, it means the universe has upgraded your spirit. Your old environment can no longer contain the version of you that is emerging. You are rising higher, and not everyone can rise with you. This outgrowing process can feel lonely, confusing, or even painful at first, because you are shedding pieces of your old identity, old attachments, and old comfort zones. But this shedding is necessary. Elevation requires release. When your spirit evolves, your environment must evolve with it. You begin to notice how certain people no longer resonate with your energy. Their negativity feels heavier. Their conversations feel empty. Their habits feel misaligned with the direction you're headed. Even places you once enjoyed now feel draining because your soul recognizes that you have graduated from that chapter. This is not arrogance. It is transformation. You are not rejecting people, you are releasing frequencies that no longer match your destiny. And the more you rise, the clearer the separation becomes between who is meant for your future and who belongs to your past. You lose interest in chaos because your spirit now craves peace. You lose interest in proving yourself because your spirit now understands its worth. You lose interest in superficial connections because you now desire depth, purpose, and authenticity. This shift is divine. It is the universe preparing room for new people, new environments, and new opportunities that are aligned with the elevated version of you. Outgrowing is a sign of becoming, and your becoming is underway. 5. Your intuition. Stronger than ever before. You can sense people's intentions. You can feel energy shifts instantly. You can see through lies, masks, and manipulations almost effortlessly. This isn't paranoia, it's divine clarity. Your intuition is sharpening because you are stepping into a purpose that requires spiritual awareness. In your season to shine, you're guided, protected, and spiritually equipped to move with wisdom. This heightened intuition is the result of the spiritual growth you've undergone through your trials. Pain taught you observation. Betrayal taught you discernment. Loneliness taught you self-awareness. These experiences have shaped your spiritual senses. Now, you can detect when something feels off, even before evidence appears. You can sense when someone's words don't match their energy. You pick up on subtle shifts in tone, intention, or behavior. You can feel when a space is not for you or when a person is not aligned with your purpose. This is a divine gift, a protective advantage. The universe sharpens your intuition because the level you are stepping into requires spiritual alertness. Not everyone who approaches you in your season of elevation has pure intentions. Some come to benefit, some come to observe, some come to drain, and a few come to genuinely support. Your intuition is your inner compass. It keeps you aligned. It pushes you away from danger. It guides you toward opportunities. It whispers truths that your mind may not yet understand. And the more you trust it, the stronger it becomes. In this season, intuition is not optional. It is essential. It is your spiritual navigation system leading you toward your destiny while protecting you from anything that could hinder it. 6. You feel a new level of self-worth and confidence. Chosen ones often struggle with doubting their value because the world tries hard to dim their light. But suddenly, you feel different. You feel worthy. You feel capable. You feel powerful. You no longer shrink to make others comfortable. You no longer apologize for being gifted, intuitive, visionary, or different. This upgraded confidence is not ego. It is alignment. It means you finally see what was already inside you. This new sense of self-worth doesn't come from compliments, achievements, or validation from others. It comes from awakening. It comes from realizing that everything you survived was shaping you, not destroying you. It comes from understanding that your uniqueness was never a flaw, it was your divine design. After being overlooked, misunderstood, underestimated, and doubted, you finally recognize your own value without needing anyone else to confirm it. This is spiritual maturity. This is inner evolution. You begin to speak differently, walk differently, and carry yourself with a calm strength that cannot be faked. You stop settling for less because you finally understand you were meant for more. You stop tolerating mistreatment because you know your spirit deserves respect. You stop questioning your gifts because you see how naturally they flow from you. This level of confidence feels new, but in reality it was always there. It was just buried under fear, doubts, and wounds. Now you're no longer afraid to take up space. You're no longer afraid to shine. You're no longer afraid to choose yourself. And the universe responds to this energy. Doors open for people who believe they deserve to walk through them. Opportunities appear for those who know they are worthy of them. In this season, your confidence becomes your magnet. It attracts better people, better experiences, and better outcomes. You are stepping into the version of you that was always waiting beneath the surface, the powerful, radiant, self-assured you who finally understands what it means to be chosen. 7. The things that used to break you no longer affect you. Situations that once triggered you, hurt you, or destabilized you now feel small. You've developed spiritual armor. You've grown through pain, betrayal, loss, and loneliness, and those experiences have turned you into someone unshakable. A chosen one knows they've entered their season of elevation when old battles no longer disturb their peace. You have mastered what once controlled you. This shift isn't just emotional, it's spiritual. The things that used to break you were designed to build you. Every tear, every heartbreak, every disappointment served a purpose. They increased your strength. They expanded your wisdom. They purified your spirit. Now, when negativity arises, instead of reacting, you observe. Instead of panicking, you breathe. Instead of breaking, you bend. But you do not shatter. You start to recognize patterns instead of falling into them. You recognize red flags instead of ignoring them. You see through manipulation instead of being trapped in it. You no longer hand your peace to people who don't deserve access to your energy. You no longer lower yourself to match chaos. You've grown past the emotional traps that once held you down. This transformation is your confirmation. When your spirit reaches a higher vibration, the lower vibrations of the past cannot reach you anymore. What once felt overwhelming now feels insignificant. What once drained you now rolls off your back effortlessly. What once shattered you now teaches you. This is the evolution of a chosen one. You become stronger not by avoiding storms, but by learning how to walk through them untouched. And now, you stand in a place where the things that broke you before no longer have the power to influence your peace, your energy, or your destiny. That is the ultimate sign that your elevation has begun. 8. You feel the urge to begin, build, create, or become something new. When your season to shine arrives, your spirit becomes restless. Not because of anxiety, but because of purpose. You feel the urge to start something new, a project, a business, a vision, a transformation. Inspiration flows. Ideas appear out of nowhere. Your energy feels renewed. This is not random. It is the universe nudging you forward, telling you, this is your time. This inner push is a spiritual awakening. Your soul knows it has completed one chapter and is ready to step into the next. You may feel a sudden passion for things you never cared about before. You may feel drawn to take risks that once scared you. You may feel a deep inner fire, a hunger to grow, a pull toward your destiny. This is your calling becoming louder. You begin seeing possibilities where you once saw obstacles. You notice opportunities you overlooked before. Your mind becomes clear, your creativity heightened, your purpose illuminated. You feel a shift, an internal signal that your life is ready to expand. Whether it's a new career, a new mindset, a new environment, or a new version of yourself, the universe is aligning everything you need to take this step. The urge to create is divine confirmation. It means your spirit is syncing with your destiny. You no longer feel comfortable staying small, staying silent, or staying stuck. You feel compelled to move, to build, to grow, to evolve. And once this urge appears, nothing can suppress it. Not fear, not doubt, not your past. You were not meant to stay where you are. You were meant to rise. And this desire to start something new is the evidence that your elevation is already unfolding. Your spirit is ready. Your energy is ready. Your destiny is calling loudly. 9. You can feel something big coming, even if you can't see it yet. Every chosen one senses their breakthrough before it arrives in the physical world. You feel a shift in your soul. You feel change in your spirit. You feel destiny pulling you. Even if your environment hasn't caught up yet, your intuition knows, your energy knows, your heart knows. Something powerful, transformative, and life-changing is already on its way to you, and nothing can stop it now. This feeling isn't imagination, it's spiritual foresight. Before a blessing manifests, it first appears in your energy field. You begin to sense it like a quiet vibration, a subtle knowing, a heavy anticipation. You may not know the details, but you can feel the magnitude. It's like standing at the edge of a new world and knowing the door is about to open. Spirit becomes more aware, more alert, more aligned. You may feel disconnected from your old life because your soul is preparing for the new one. You may feel unusually hopeful even without evidence. You may feel a strange calmness, even if circumstances around you look uncertain. This is the universe whispering, get ready. Chosen ones always feel the shift before the blessing. The spiritual realm moves first and the physical world follows. You feel the breakthrough approaching because it is already in motion. Divine timing is aligning. Paths are clearing. Opportunities are forming. People are being positioned, and your spirit senses every bit of it. This inner knowing is your confirmation that your season has begun. The blessing may not be visible yet, but it is inevitable, and when it arrives, it will make sense of everything you endured. Something big is coming, and nothing on this earth can interfere with what has already been written for you. Is the Zillion Mind channel. If this message reached you at the exact moment you needed it, it is not a coincidence, it is confirmation. You are stepping into your season of blessings, clarity, elevation, and divine favor. This is your time to rise. This is your time to shine. Nothing can stop the chosen one you are becoming. If this message spoke to your spirit, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more powerful content that aligns with your journey. And if you received this message right on time, I want you to type 1111 in the comments section as a sign that divine blessings and alignment are unfolding in your life right now. Thank you for watching.